Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and this is my Sephora recommendations video. So I know there are a lot of videos out there this time of year, but to keep this a little bit more digestible and to the point, I am just going to give you my top 10 recommendations. So I'm not recommending one product in every category. If you do have any questions about specific recommendations that I don't mention, feel free to ask me down below. But I want to just tell you what I think after months or years of testing in some cases, what I think is truly worth your money. So I'll start off with just some kind of general recommendations or things that I do, practices I have for the Sephora sale. If you want to skip ahead to the actual recommendations, I will have a timestamp down below. But I will have all the dates and everything on the screen. Keep in mind that Sephora collection items will be 30% off for everyone, regardless of your status. And that is true for the duration of the sale. So you don't have to wait until November if you are a VIB or Beauty Insider. You can start shopping the Sephora collection at a 30% discount on Halloween, the 31st. I did just upload a video where I swatched all, I think 51 of the Sephora collection eyeshadows. So if you are interested in any of those eyeshadows, that will be around $5 or $6, I think, with the discount. So if you wanted to pick up some eyeshadows and kind of assemble your own palette, you can reference that video for some swatches. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that you should make sure you activate the Beauty Insider Challenge. I'm not sure if everyone's is the same, but basically you have to go in to activate, and you get additional points for specific tasks. Like for me, it's 100 points for buying a fragrance product, 100 points for buying online, picking up in store, 100 points for buying a skincare product, and then 100 points for making an app purchase. So I think if I purchased either a skincare product or a fragrance product in the app for pickup, that would get me 300 points. And keep in mind that it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, so that's a lot of extra points. And if you are a Rouge member, I think 2,500 points you can turn in for a $100 Rouge reward. So make sure you do that. Some additional things to keep in the back of your mind while you are assembling your cart. Keep in mind that the gifting season is around the corner. So any gifts that you want to purchase at a discount would obviously be great. Any products that you absolutely know you will run out of and want to repurchase, I don't typically recommend buying backups, but if it's a true staple for you and you go through multiple in a year, you may wish to restock on that. Also, if you are traveling over the holidays, maybe just take a look at the mini or travel sizes to see if there's anything worth picking up there, if you have any favorite products. Also keep in mind that if something does sell out on the Sephora website, it may still be in stock in the Sephora section of the Kohl's website. Kohl's doesn't carry every brand that the kind of larger Sephora website carries, but they do have a lot of fairly popular brands. And I'll mention something in particular later on that I think is out of stock at Sephora, but in stock at Kohl's. So just double check there. You may also wish to try either the pickup in store or same-day delivery options to see if you are able to effectively reserve something online for either pickup or delivery. Because obviously the store stock isn't the same as the website stock. I would also recommend that you prioritize high-ticket items if you have anything in particular on your wish list. So items like fragrance, palettes, some of the value sets that come out this time of year, or limited edition items. So keep in mind, in particular, the fall sale is a great time for value sets because everyone is releasing things for gifting. And then there are also a lot of limited edition items. So you may wish to postpone your purchase of an item that's permanent until like the spring sale, for example, when we have fewer of these value sets and limited edition like holiday palettes. As far as specific palette recommendations, I would say if you are my skin tone and you are looking just for kind of a basic, everyday, pretty wearable palette, you can't go wrong with the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. That's what I'm wearing today. So I think this is a very good palette for lighter skin tones that are looking for just a lot of neutrals with maybe just a little bit of shimmer. I am preparing a video comparing the Pat McGrath Holiday Palette and the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Palette. So if you were interested in either one of these as a more colorful, kind of limited edition palette option, then that video should be up in a few days here. If you're curious about either the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt palettes, I have a video talking about those up already, and also the new ABH Embers and the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Nature palette. So if you're interested in any of those, I will link those for you. As far as value sets, I would definitely recommend looking at the Sephora Favorites sets to see if there's anything that appeals to you. Those can be nice because they do include a variety of brands. I would just make sure that you're interested in enough of the products to make the value worth it to you. If you don't use 50% of the products or aren't interested in 50% of the products, it's probably not much of a value to purchase that. But especially their fragrance Sephora Favorite sets, those can be great, especially for gifts. If you're not sure what to get someone because you don't know exactly what their preference is, or the mascara samplers, if you're not sure what they like, then that can be a great way for them to sample a lot of different items. And some of those do include vouchers, so the person can go out and pick up a full-size product in whatever their favorite item is. So that can be great, especially for gifting. Tower 28 has some great gifts that I thought I would show you. So if you're into their mascara, they have a duo. So this is $29 and it has a $40 value. So especially mascara, something that you should replace pretty often. There's also this cute little skincare set. I haven't tried their cleanser yet, but their SOS spray is a great hypochlorous acid spray. And then their recovery cream is a great basic moisturizer for sensitive skin or acne prone skin. And this is all, I think, TSA eligible. I think it's all under 3 ounces. So great little travel set. And this is $24 and has a $30 value. They did send these to me in PR. I'm not under the obligation to talk about them, but I just thought if you are a Tower 28 fan, you might be interested. They've also brought back their set of the Lil Softies lip balms. This is $20 and has a $32 value. This would probably make a great stocking stuffer. The scents are on the side here. So we have Red Bean Mochi, Watermelon Kiwi, and then 2 new limited edition scents are Iced, Dulce de Leche, and Tiramisu. So I think that would be a cute little stocking stuffer. And I did actually purchase the equivalent set last year myself. Also from Edam, so they have a lip set of a lot of their lip balms, which I've talked about and I will talk about here coming up soon. But they do have a set. So if you are a diehard Edam lip balm lover, then that would be a good thing to look at if you either want to share the balms with your friends, or if you know that that is your favorite balm and you will use it up. Otherwise, you'll probably just have a lot of lip balm lying around. Colfi has a set of their lip oils. And then I might personally look at the L'Occitane set again, which I've already purchased. I think in the Sephora Friends and Family sale. So that is $44. But that is the Shea at Home and On the Go gift set. So that's a great kind of crowd pleaser gift as well. And then I would also recommend prioritizing items not sold at other retailers like Ulta, and also items or brands that rarely go on sale. So just off the top of my head, like Makeup Forever usually does 30% off fairly regularly. Paula's Choice has a lot of sales throughout the year. So maybe just keep that in the back of your mind. If you have a particular brand that you're interested in purchasing from, maybe look at that brand's Black Friday sales for 2024. Chances are they will do something kind of similar. So maybe just get a sense of how your dollars are best spent during the Sephora sale. So that's it as far as kind of a warm up to the main event here. I tried to make that as brief as possible. But the first item I wanted to talk about here is the Experiment Lip Balm, as far as items that I would recommend that you look into. So they did send this to me in PR. I want to be transparent about that. But this is a product that, I think has been kind of unfairly maligned by a couple of creators. But B, it's a product that I really do enjoy applying, especially as I'm sitting down to do my makeup as kind of a prep step. And there was one occasion where it kind of went missing. It just kind of made its way to the bottom of my drawer or whatever. And I had that kind of moment of panic of like, I need to repurchase this lip balm. So that's how you know, right? One of my only critiques, it's pretty affordable for what it is, but this is 0.34 fluid ounce. I wish they would make it in a bigger size. So the Eden lip balms are 0.49 ounces, just for like comparison's sake. So the critique of this product I've heard is that it kind of forms, I guess, a bit of a film on your lips. But I actually like that. I kind of like the feeling of there being kind of a saran wrap layer on my lips, because that feels like it's going to really lock in the moisture and hydration and keep my lips from drying out. So I do really like that about this product. And just to reapply to show you what it looks like, because I've been sipping on my sparkling water here. So I really enjoy this. So I would recommend looking at it. I think it's less than 20 bucks. So really nice lip balm. I think it also does have some exfoliation properties, which is great. And if I didn't already mention, I am 40 years old and I have very dry skin. It's also somewhat sensitive. I can be prone to eczema. So a lot of these recommendations are going to be very tailored towards that, especially as we head into the winter months. If you want additional dry skin recommendations, my friend Jean over at Critical Beauty 411 uploaded her Sephora recommendations, and she also has dry skin, and she's 41, I think. So I'll link her video down below if you want to check her out. All right, so let me remove that so I can apply more lip products. It sinks in pretty fast, but still. Okay, for like colored lip products, lip liners, I have really enjoyed these Ilia Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayons. So I just have two of these little samples that I got actually from Ulta. One is in the shade Banquette, and the other is in the shade Genre. Yeah. So they're all pretty neutral. I might go with the darker one because why not? So that is Genre and that is Banquette. But the great thing about these is that you have the precision of a lip liner, but you still have a very comfortable formula. They're a bit thicker than kind of your standard lip liner. And they're just like really nice and wearable. Very easy. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend purchasing a lot of different shades of these. Maybe just try one and see how you like it. It's less the shade for me than the kind of overall formulation. And then going back to the Edam lip balms, like I mentioned. So I have, I think, all of the ones that they've released so far. Some of these I've purchased and some of these they sent to me. So my major critique with these is that they don't have a color indicator on the actual tube. So if you do have multiple, it can be a little easy to lose track. So I think I wore or tried both the Pain au Chocolat and the Croissant shade in my Sephora Friends and Family sale. So I'll try the Bishop Glaze. And all of these have a different flavor or scent to them. So going for one a little bit more colorful. Their Butter Mochi, which is their kind of clear plain one, I think they did recently reformulate to kind of adjust the fragrance because it wasn't my favorite fragrance before. So if you are looking for a clear lip balm in this formula, then that would be your best bet. So it's not too emollient, like you feel like it's going to go everywhere. But these also, I think, have some exfoliating properties to them. So they're really nice. And I think my favorite part about these is that they have that metal tip, which just feels really nice and cooling, especially if you already have sore, irritated, chapped lips. So I do enjoy those. The next product, so this is number 3, is the Rhode Glazing Milk. So thankfully Rhode is included in the VIB sale. I think it was excluded from the Friends and Family sale because it was brand new. But this is my favorite milky toner. So currently I just have this little travel size because I finished up my full size. But this is 2.2 fluid ounce. So as a travel size, it's a bit chunky, but if you did just want to give it a shot without shelling out for a full size, I think it's not a bad way to go. Obviously, your value will be better with the full size. But yeah, it's just that really kind of perfect happy medium of not too thin, not too thick. It just leaves the skin feeling really nice and hydrated. So yeah, that is my favorite. And I'll talk about some additional Rhode products when I talk about my wish list. So next up for foundation, again, I have truly dry skin, eczema prone skin, and my favorite foundation is the Patrick Ta Major Skin Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. A lot of search engine terms on there, but I have it in the shade Too Rosy, and it really just is the kindest foundation to my dry skin. I still go in with a pretty moisturizing prep step, but yeah, if you do have truly dry skin, and if you are on the upper end of 40, I would definitely recommend looking at this. I think there are a lot of people who have oily skin or are under 30 who talk about the Natasha Denona foundation as being good for dry skin, and that one did not work out for me. So I actually purchased 2 different shades. I purchased N1 and R2, and it just felt really uncomfortable. This does have denatured alcohol in it, so I would definitely recommend the Patrick Ta over that. As a runner-up to the Patrick Ta, I would suggest either the Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydra Glow. I have it in the shade 1N100, or the NARS Light Reflecting in Oslo, I think is what I have. Yeah. But out of the 3, I think the Patrick Ta is the most hydrating. So that's my kind of go-to. For concealer, so if Patrick Ta does ever release a concealer, I hope he does, I will definitely be in line to purchase it. But my favorite currently is the Kulfi Main Match Concealer in Bad Badam, I think is how you say it. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's definitely like some product kind of missing from the sides here. So I'm definitely kind of going through it. So it's not too expensive, which is great, but it's also a really nice hydrating concealer. So I like it more than the Natasha Denona, which is really popular. That one always looks really dry on me. And I don't have a good shade match in the Sarah Creole. So yeah, this is my current favorite concealer. And I do always use a corrector. So lately I've been loving the one from Sigma, which is not sold at Sephora, but I do go in with a corrector, and then I usually do set on my under eyes as well. So that is my kind of routine there. So for blush, my top recommendation is the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush, specifically in the shade Hope, which I'm wearing right now. So I do like this color, and I like using like the BK Angie Hot and Flashy A507 brush with it. The Rare Beauty brush that they recommend is also great. But I think part of the reason why I like this so much, as kind of silly as it sounds, is because it's called Hope, and I just like starting my day with a little bit of hope. You know, like it just helps somehow. Especially with the dumpster fire that 2025 has been. So I do like this shade in particular a lot. I have a video about these. I also like the shade Worth I've worn in some videos. And these are both really easy to apply, as you saw, and they also last very well. Even when it was super hot and humid outside. These would last until I took my makeup off, essentially. So I really do like these. If you are looking for some other shade options, I did also review the Glossier Cloud Paint blushes. So I have 4 shades in this formula. And this is what the actual component looks like. This is Gale. So if you want to check out that review, I also compare them to the liquid cloud paints, if you're curious. So this is also a nice formula. I just haven't quite bonded with it as much as the Rare Beauty. And then if you want an entirely different option, if I guess Rare Beauty or Glossier isn't accessible to you, or you just want something else, my other favorite would be the MAC Glow Play. Like the shade Blush Please is a really nice kind of neutral mauve shade, so you can buy that at Ulta. I know Ulta has sent out some like targeted coupons and things lately too. So that is it for blush. My next product recommendation, and this is the one where I was saying I think it's out of stock at Sephora, but you may be able to find it at Kohl's, is the Powder Melt Glass Setting Spray from One Size. So like MAC Fix Plus never really worked for me because of the scent, but this one is really nice. So you kind of shake it up. And it's just a really nice kind of fine mist that can kind of bring some life back to your skin and help all the powder or whatever you've applied kind of melt together. So I do really like that one. And then the next one, also on the topic of dry skin and hydration, I would recommend looking at the Canopy humidifiers. So I have purchased 2 from them now. The original one, they have since upgraded, and they upgraded it so that more parts of it are dishwasher safe. Like it's easier to take apart and reassemble. So that is key, because as much as I love having a humidifier, like I have it all year round, not just in the winter, it was always such a pain to clean them. But the Canopy parts are meant to be dishwashed, with the exception of like the part that has like the motor or electronics or whatever. But everything else, like the tank and everything, you can stick in the dishwasher. And then it does have an actual paper filter, so it's not like ultrasonic or whatever. And you can set up a subscription to that, and it just arrives at your door. You can also, I think, purchase the filters from Sephora directly. So if you prefer to do that, I think maybe you can set them up on a subscription at Sephora, but I just have one through Canopy. So yeah, so highly, highly recommend that. And then the last one, kind of on the topic of health and safety, I do recommend the Touchland hand sanitizers, especially as we're going into the fall, winter, cold and flu season. I know these are also sold at Ulta. So depending on your tier level or your willingness to wait for a sale at Ulta or points or whatever, you may wish to purchase there. These are actually 2 scents from the limited edition holiday set. So I don't think I've smelled these yet. This is peppermint mocha scented. Which is not my favorite, to be honest. Sometimes I'm weird about what I want my hands to smell like. And this one is Spiced Pumpkin Teeny. That one I like better. I think for me, I just don't necessarily want my hands to smell like chocolate and coffee, because then they just kind of smell dirty. But yeah, the rose water one is really great. What else have we tried? I think vanilla. Lavender can be a bit strong depending on your preference. The Lily of the Valley one is nice as well. So I feel like this is the meme where people say like things that have betrayed me. And as much as I always mention FSA products, I always feel like they betray me by denying something that should be covered. So I would say this may be something you can get reimbursed through your FSA provider. You may get some pushback because they have said to me for various things like, well, if there's like a side benefit, like for this one, for example, it says hydrating hand sanitizer. So I would just recommend that you maybe proceed with caution before you go out and buy like 10 or 20 of them. They do also have expiration dates. So that's something you want to keep in mind. But otherwise, these do make great like stocking stuffers as well. So it's a great kind of practical gift as well. So those were my 10 recommendations. Like I said, I wanted to keep it kind of on the short and sweet side. As far as my wish list, so I do really like that you can set up kind of specific wish lists for certain things, and it's not just one wish list or loves list. So on my wish list, I have the One Size by Patrick Starrr Boucle Silk Airbrushed Talc-Free Finishing Powder in Fair. So I've heard a lot of people rave about this, though I think maybe the people I've heard talk about it do have oilier skin types, but we'll see. I've been using the Kosas Cloud Set a lot lately, and then also still going into like my Charlotte Tilbury powder that I depotted. Part of me is just curious how this compares to the Say powder. This one, which a lot of people weren't huge fans of because it does have a bit of a kind of radiant finish to it. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious more than anything, I guess. I will be getting the loose One Size powder in my FabFitFun box, so we'll see how I like that. I am probably going to get the 3.4 ounce size of the Rhode Barrier Butter. I've never tried it, but I figure even if I don't like it on my face, I can probably use it as a body cream or something to that effect to use it up. And it's just so much more cost effective to buy the bigger size. So I'll probably do that. I am still kind of tempted by the Pat McGrath Gold 001, the Divine Decade Edition set, although I think it would just kind of sit in a drawer as a collector's piece, but at least now that it's shown up at Sephora, I can get it for 20% off, so I don't feel quite as badly about it. For Patrick Ta, so I am curious or tempted by the Glow and Gloss set, Major Headlines Blush Duo and Lip Gloss gift set, specifically in the Ice Me Down, because the blush duo is called Out of Office, and as a furloughed government employee, it would just, I don't know, kind of, it would just kind of symbolize this this time in my life, I guess. So anyway, probably not a very sensible thing to pick up, but it is kind of tempting to me. What else? Also from Patrick Ta, the 6-pan eyeshadows. I don't need them. I did swatch it in store though, the lightest one, and they felt really nice. So I'm kind of tempted by those in addition to the new duos, because I also swatched those and those are really pretty. So I might just pick those up as kind of a completionist. So the Touchland scents that I showed you, these are actually from last year's holiday set. Like I said, don't buy 20 at once. But the new holiday scent for this year, there's a gingerbread scent, and I love gingerbread, so I'm kind of tempted to get that. I will probably get the Urban Decay Moondust Quad, because like I said, I'm kind of a completionist, and once I start collecting something, I just want to collect them all. So we'll probably get that. Already have the Denisa Myricks. I thought about getting the 6-pan that she released in the spring, now that I have the larger one and I can kind of mix and match. But honestly, I think I'd only end up using the 2 neutral shades. So I don't know that that would really make a whole lot of sense to purchase. But we'll see. Maybe if I see it in store. The Jo Malone Mini Ginger Biscuit and Sandalwood and Spiced Apricot Cologne duo. So I already have quite a few of the Ginger Biscuit, I think, from like previous holiday sets. I think Sandalwood and Spiced Apricot is new for this year, so I'm kind of curious to see what that smells like, but I probably won't actually purchase the set. I have a couple of the Jisoo lip oils. So Milky Mocha is a Milky Mocha Brown, and the other one is Sticky Toffee, I believe. And as an Anglophile and the wife of a Brit, I kind of feel obliged to buy it. I did smell it in store. I didn't actually apply it to my lips or anything, but I did smell it and it did smell nice. So I'll probably pick up one of those. The Say powder brush I have on here, which I think is the companion brush to this powder. It just looked like a nice shape, so I threw that on there. I put the Makeup by Mario Master Metallics eyeshadow palette partly just because I was curious how that green compared to the Ethereal Eyes Nature palette, but probably will skip on that. Like I said, I'll probably buy all of the new Patrick Ta duos. I'm going to skip the YSL blush palette. I swatched it in store and I just don't think I would get much use out of most of those shades. And the one shade that I would be the most interested in, I think I already own. I think that's 44 maybe. So yeah, that would be, I think, a waste of money for me personally, although I know Teresa's dad loves it, and she has a similar skin tone to me, so you may feel differently about that. There's the NARS blush palette. I have a review of the lighter one, in case you're curious. The Chris McMillan Mini Glassy Smooth Blow Dry Spray for Frizz I thought would be interesting. So they do have a travel size in that, 1.7 ounces for $16. And the Breaking Beauty podcast said it was better than the Color Wow. So I'm just kind of curious about that, whether that would do anything for me. And then the other things I have here, the Pharmacy Wicked Clean Kit. So I'm a huge Wicked fan. This is actually a collaboration with the musical, stage musical. But to be honest, these are both scented, and I would prefer unscented makeup removers. I think if you are interested in this, you can actually get it from the pharmacy website and get like a free either broom or wand spatula with your purchase. So that's probably where I would purchase it if I were to do so. And then from Kulfi, the Black Forest Cake Lip Snack. That's my husband's favorite dessert, so I think that one's kind of a necessary item to purchase. And then I did throw in the Hung Van Gogh Longwear Waterproof Precision Gel Eyeliner in Keep It Effortless, which is a taupe shade. I'm kind of after a good taupe eyeliner, but I don't really love that style of eyeliner, so I should probably skip it. And then the Dew Instant Angel Lipid Rich Firming Moisturizer. That one's also kind of a maybe. I think I might be getting some gifting from Dew, but I haven't gotten like a shipping notification yet. So that item I might push off until the end of the sale to see if I do receive it in gifting. So that is it for my general tips, my top 10 items that I would recommend, and my wish list. So let me know what you plan to pick up from the Sephora sale if any of these items are on your wish list. I'd love to hear from you. And if you do have any questions or specific recommendations, please leave those down below as well. And until next time, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.